call. The quorum be terminated.
Without objection.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent the Senate proceed to calendar number 111, S. 846.
The clerk will report.
Calendar number 111, S. 846, a bill to designate the United States Courthouse located at 80 Lafayette Street in Jefferson City, Missouri, as a Christopher S. Bond United States Courthouse.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent that the bill be read a third time, passed. Motion we consider be laid on the table, and any statements relating to this matter be placed in the record at the appropriate place.
Without objection.
Mr. President, I note here that this courthouse is going to be named for our longtime colleague, Kit Bond. That's very nice. He was a fine man. He served his state in many different ways. He was a governor who was a very popular governor. He served as the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee and served that admirably. But for one thing that he and I talked about on a number of occasions, when he was governor of the state of Missouri, he rescinded an order that had been issued by his predecessor, a man by the name of Boggs, as I recall, Governor Boggs, which was an extermination order against all the Mormons that were in Missouri. Extermination, meaning to kill them all. And some of them were killed, but they worked their way out of Missouri. But that extermination order remained in effect until Kit Bond came along. Of course, they weren't out trying to exterminate the Mormons, but as a matter of principle, he thought that was the wrong thing to do. So for that and other reasons, I have fond memories of our friend Kit Bond. Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent the Environment and Public Works Committee be discharged from further consideration of S. 1406, and the Senate proceed now to that matter.
The clerk will report.
S. 1406, a bill to designate the United States Courthouse under construction at 510 19th Street, Bakersfield, California, as the Myron Donovan Crocker United States Courthouse.
Is there objection to proceeding with the measure?
I ask unanimous consent the bill be read three times, passed. Motion we consider be laid on the table. There be no intervening action or debate. Any statements relating to this matter be placed in the record at the appropriate place as if read.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent that H.R. 1309 be discharged from the Committee on Banking and that it be returned to the House of Representatives pursuant to the message of July 25th, 2011, requesting its return.
Without objection.
I'm told there's a bill at the desk due for its first reading.
The clerk will read the bill.
S. 1420, a bill to require the United States government prioritize all obligations on the debt held by the public, Social Security benefits, and military pay in the event that the debt limit is reached and for other purposes.
Mr. President, I now ask for its second reading, and that's for purpose of placing this bill on the calendar under the provisions of Rule 14, but now I object to my own request.
The objection is heard. The bill will be read for the second time on the next legislative day.
Note the absence of quorum.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Akaka.
As quorum be vitiated.
Without objection.
I now ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes the business day adjourned until tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m., July 27th, following the prayer and pledge journal proceedings be approved to date, that morning hour be deemed expired. The time for two leaders be reserved for use later in the day. Following any leader remarks, the Senate be in a period of morning business for an hour. Senators permitted to speak for up to 10 minutes each. Time equally divided and controlled between two leaders or their designees, with Republicans controlling the first half and the majority controlling the final half. Mr. President, if there's no further business to come before the Senate, I ask that we adjourn under the previous order.
The Senate stands adjourned until 9:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, the Senate today approved judicial nominations in New York and the Northern Mariana Islands, and they spent much of the day on reaction to President Obama's comments yesterday on debt reduction negotiations.